as my friend Jay-Z says, and by friend I mean I own one of his songs, you're not a businessman, you are the business. Whatever you're doing right now, whether you are an employee somewhere or you own the company, what you don't understand is that your logo is not your brand, your product is not your brand, if you have trucks all painted up, that is not your brand or any of that. You are your brand. People do business with people. And that is going to happen for the rest of all of our lives, right? In 3,000 years, maybe people are doing business with robots, but for now, it's safe to assume you're always going to be doing business with another actual person. So you have to understand, again, even if you think you're just an employee somewhere, you're the brand, you're on the front line. The way you answer the phone determines your brand. The way you dress determines your brand. When someone goes in to have any kind of experience with your business whatsoever, that ends up determining what your brand is. So you have to decide, how am I going to be different? Some of us were talking a little bit ago, and we were talking about this, how do you actually differentiate yourself from everyone else? And one of the ways that you do it is you make a list of everything that your competition does not do, and you go do that. Go do what they're unwilling to do. Do those little things. It's the simple things that make the biggest difference in our brands, and it's what the customers pay attention to the most, because guess what? They're not expecting the simple things. Again, Samuel Johnson said, everybody is throwing out the big promises. Everyone is trying to say, my something is bigger, it's more amazing, you're gonna love it, it's gonna change your life. Everyone is saying the same thing, but nobody's actually doing the little things that matter. And that's what I want to challenge you to do. Now, the bigger brand you build makes up for how to handle the competition. So we've all got that competitor that we feel like we can't compete with. Okay? And so some of you are in industries right now where your competition is worldwide well-known brands, and you don't know how to compete because you're just maybe a solo entrepreneur. Maybe you only have a handful of employees. How in the world do you compete? Well, you actually have a great advantage today because with the internet and social media and all of those things, there's a lot of cool ways to beat the bigger brands, and we'll talk about that later. But that's the thing that you have to understand is Oprah isn't hurting for opportunities, right? When her show ended, she wasn't sitting there saying, I don't know what to do next, right? It's gonna happen. If Rick Warren writes another book, there's gonna be a publisher who says, we'll publish it, right? That's the way it works. So when you sit there and say, I'm in X business, stop that. The problem with blasting our messages everywhere is there's no trust component, right? So we try to get everyone to know who we are, but just because they know who we are doesn't mean that they're gonna do business with us. So again, this is where people fall in that trap. They see what the big brands are doing. They see what the Oprahs are doing, or Pepsi, or Starbucks, or you name the big brand, and they say, all right, I got to get out there. I need people to see my logo 1,000,000 times. I need people to see my marketing messages. I need to be consistent. But none of that is necessarily building trust with your audience, and that is the problem. So right now, and obviously I haven't met you, I don't know how much money you make, but if you're sitting there right now and you're thinking, I'm not making the amount of money in my business that I would like to make, or that I think I deserve, or that I think I'm actually capable of doing, this is why. Because you're too busy trying to sell the product or service that you have rather than trying to establish trust. I've been doing this for 13 years, and I can tell you that trust is the big thing, and people by default are untrustworthy. That just ends up being the way it happens. Now, and I need you to not take a picture of this, because what happens is this comes up, people take a picture of me doing this, and then they post it on Facebook, and there's no context. So now I'm just the crazy Tennessean driving, the creepy van. So let's post a different picture of me on the social media. But again, this is the point, right? We don't trust people. When when our car breaks down and we need auto repair, trust becomes our biggest concern. Are they telling us the truth? Are they charging us, a fair amount? We don't know. Right? And that's in any industry, anywhere, whether it's real estate or any kind of sales. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Trust or lack thereof is a huge problem. It's really sad that we live in a world where trust is so scarce. But if we realize that and change the way we market ourselves and change the way we build our brand, you're now going to win way more than anyone else because you get this. So again, it's very sad that this is the world we live in, yet this is what gives you your biggest advantage. I've been doing this for 13 years, and I can tell you that the thing that the billion-dollar brands know that you don't, the secret sauce that you're trying to figure out, how did they do that? How did they get to where they are? Is trust. That's it. They understand it. Disney gets it. Apple gets it. Richard Branson's Virgin Companies, they get it. They understand that if they can get you to trust them, they win. Now, obviously, by the way, as a side note, you have to actually be trustworthy. So I'm assuming that everyone here is, so I just wanted to throw out that clarification. But that's the thing, is it's all about trust. When you start off, like tomorrow when you wake up, you are here and your customer is there. You're far apart. Okay? That's how you start. Again, they're a prospect, right? They're a lead. Whatever you want to call them, that's what they start as. They don't know you yet. As you build trust, you'll see the path of making that sale becomes shorter. So if you want more sales, build more trust. Here's another thing that happens with people. We start selling to people when we don't have trust. How many of you tonight, and it's okay, have given your business card to someone? Like all of you, that's amazing. You've all done your homework. Wonderful. So how many of you, when you did that, are hoping that that person is going to do business with you or send a referral to you? Why did not the same amount of hands go up? Some of you are doing so well. No, don't send business to me. It's amazing. Right? So you're doing that, right? Because you want that sale. You're ready to go for the sale immediately, and that makes sense. We're in business to make money. Yes, we want to do good and we want to save people and help and all that, and I have to say that because we're in church, but we are in business to make money. That's oxygen. It's how we keep score, right? Without money, your business is going to fail. Even a charity has to think of, how do we sell ourselves? So again, what happens is people do business with people they know, like, and trust. We've heard that cliche a million times, but we forgot the last one. We're really concerned with people knowing us. We're really concerned with making sure people like us, and then we forget the trust part. So what happens now is when we go to make a sale, it's in proportionate to the amount of trust we have. That's the thing I want you to really grasp. If you sell something that's, let's say, $10,000, don't make that sales pitch until you have $10,000 worth of trust. Do you see what I'm saying? If you sell something that's only $50, okay, that's fine, but still don't sell it until you've got $50 worth of trust built up.